My name's Rupert Rixon. I'm a filmmaker and founder of Perspective Pictures.
I've spent the past 7 years making films, and I've always had an obsession with making films that push me, not just as a filmmaker, but as a person. 2 years ago, I longboarded 3,000 miles across America from LA to New York with my friend David. It was incredible, and I was entirely immersed in that trip for almost 3 months. People sometimes ask me what the hardest part was. It wasn't the 50 miles every day, it wasn't the constant sleep deprivation, it wasn't pushing through the desert. It was coming back. Very quickly after arriving back in the UK, I felt lost and started to feel alienated from those around me. I needed a new direction, so it wasn't long before we had another plan in the works. The idea was that me and David were going to hitchhike around 2,000 miles in under 3 weeks.
From Delhi, near the top of India, all the way down to Thiruvananthapuram, near the bottom.
Making a film documenting the entire thing. And we generously give ourselves a lifeline of 1 coach ticket and 1 train ticket each. Finally, over a year later, here's our attempt.
This is India.
A population of 1.25 billion people. It holds the world's largest democracy, film industry, and produces more milk than anywhere else in the world. Snakes and ladders and the concept of shampoo were both invented in India. Mumbai's local trains have a daily ridership of 7.58 million people. That's more than the population of New Zealand. There are more English speakers in India than there are population in the whole of the United Kingdom. In 2015, the average yearly income in India, £1,263. There are more people living in India than the entire Western Hemisphere.
Flying to Delhi, and then we have 3 weeks to travel 2,000 miles, maybe a bit more, from the top-ish of India to the very bottom to Thiruvananthapuram.
I'm more excited now at the airport. I feel like it's actually happening.
We can't miss this flight.
I don't think there are seat belts. So we've arrived at our hotel in Delhi. We travelled overnight, so we're both really tired. But the biggest thing is just like mentally adjusting to it. We've got like huge culture shock. So your brain's just being like bombarded by like noise and like crazy things happening and crazy driving and people everywhere, and it's so what? And we've got 2,000 minimum, if not more, miles to travel to get to Thiruvananthapuram in 3 weeks. I'm really excited. Like, India's amazing, but I'm also like it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough.
Flow leak and then flow nasty, move flow leak and then go Delhi. Flow leak and then flow nasty, move flow leak and then go Delhi. Flow leak and then Delhi. Flow leak and then Delhi. Flow leak and then Delhi. Flow Delhi. Flow leak and then go Mexico. Kun swag out tää mun pontsapää, mun kotikulmat on haksiko. Mun flow leak and then go Korso, mä en ois torso.
Give me 300 to 200. 200 rupees.
No thanks.
200.
Delhi was hot, dry and packed with people. Everywhere they wanted to chat to us, and we still couldn't decipher if they were trying to help us, sell us something, make small talk, ask for money, or just plain scam us. And this left us feeling vulnerable and apprehensive about the journey lying ahead. So we decided to ease ourselves in gently and use one of our lifelines to take an overnight bus to Jaipur.
The bus has stopped, and we don't really know why. Something weird's going on. Loads of people on the bus are shouting. There's some kind of commotion going on. And then we started going again, and then someone like leaning out the windows and like banging on the bus.
Do you speak English? Elizabeth, what's going on? They're trying to come on.
So we're on the move again now, and we've gone from what was a full bus to like an even fuller bus with like a quadruple the number of people on it. I think the bus driver like went around the corner and just took like a load of like bribes to let on like another 40 people, and then these people just like force onto the bus. So what's gone from like a one bunk thing where there's like someone who's bought a ticket, there'll be like 7 people now sitting on that bunk. I think we're crossing over into another state now. Driving on these like Indian motorways, it's like pretty bumpy. I think we've arrived in Jaipur. It's 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, we got to Jaipur really early. Don't really know what to do with ourselves. No, we kind of stumbled into like the Pink City, so we're like inside it, but no.
After stressing about Delhi in the bus, I suddenly calmed down. Perhaps it was the slightly less hectic streets of Jaipur, but I went from a quivering wreck to comfortably sleeping on the street. Well, I mean, not comfortably.
So it's light now. Just woken up and being absolutely bitten to shit by mosquitoes. So we found this religious temple of some sort, and I've just climbed up the wall, and there's an incredible view of Jaipur from up here. Our first city in the state of Rajasthan.
We've just been watching a roundabout for an hour and a half, and it's just like so nice. I don't know what it is. It's just like something else.
That's delicious.
That is so nice.
David's not feeling very good. It's really hot. I'm feeling really sick.
We were meant to be leaving Jaipur now and hitchhiking out of the city, but me and David are not feeling very well, and I think I'm going to be sick. Really lightheaded and passed out.
How are you feeling?
Hell, when I'm still, I'm like fine. As soon as I move, like my head, I start to feel really dizzy.
We had travelled less than 170 miles and I was already incapacitated. We abandoned our plans to start hitchhiking that day. With 2.5 weeks left, all I could hope for was I'd feel better the following morning.
It's now day 5. I'm feeling a bit better, although I can already feel the heat. I think we're going to head somewhere, buy some traditional Indian clothes. We are now heading to the south of Jaipur, to a petrol station in a tuk-tuk, where we're going to try and hitchhike over the next few days to Mumbai. So we have literally like hundreds and hundreds of miles to cover. I don't know, I'm nervous. Hitchhiking isn't a big thing in India, which could both work for us and against us. It's been ambushed by tuk-tuk drivers. So I wanted to ask if you're travelling south, if we can come with you. I was a no.
He's going here.
Just hitchhiking, carry on. Thank you very much. By chance we came across this bus driver who's offered us a lift, and then along the highway he's going to take us and drop us at a busy petrol station, which was perfect because he'll be on the left side, so everyone will be travelling south and refuelling, so I think we'll be able to get a lift pretty quickly.
Where are you going? Our first night of hitchhiking took a wrong turn. The bus driver who had offered us a lift forgot to drop us off at our stop, overshooting it by miles. We were forced to just get off and we were left by the side of the road with no real idea of where we were.
Yeah, the documentary will be on that channel.
We decided to take a break, try and get our heads together and refuel in a local restaurant.
So we're eating in this restaurant and nobody speaks English and there isn't a menu, so we have no idea what we're getting. But now the food's arrived and it's really nice. Really nice.
While we were there, some students about the same age invited us to sit with them.
Not the chili. Not the chili.
We had a laugh together, and the stress of hitchhiking slowly left our minds.
Yes. Amazing. Can I come with you? Yes. This is awesome. Hello. Oh my days. Oh my god. So awesome. Driving is good. Oh, yeah. Thank you for the ride. It was very fun. Who's that weef in a bucket hat?
We ended up back at their place and had great conversation, sharing our very different cultures with each other. As a British man, when it comes to dancing, tapping my foot quietly in the corner is generally more than enough for me.
I can't dance for shit.
It's good. Oh my god, I don't want to die.
It's a different experience.
Every person is same. If you are from England, I am from India. There is no difference. You are Christian, I am a Hindu. There is no difference. You are human beings. You have a red blood, I have red blood. Yeah? You have two eyes, I have two eyes. They are same things, right? I am saying wrong about that God. So he will be angry. Can he kill me right that time? Can't kill that. So that is a power. Like that electricity. A negative and a positive, two wires. That electricity has two wires. The fan is rotating. From electricity, that is an energy. So we have also an energy. So I can speak, I can see. When that energy has stopped, I can say anything else. There is no God. It's my personal view. Not about the Indian and Hindu religion or Muslim religion. It's my personal view.
After spending over 2 days with these guys, I started to feel as though I was beginning to understand India and the generous nature of the people. For something so spontaneous, it was an incredible experience. But because of this, we were really behind schedule and still had over 1,500 miles to go, with less than 2 weeks remaining.
I thought he kind of misunderstood me.
The race was on.
We've got a lot of pressure on us now because we've travelled very, very little distance.
After a ride on a tractor and a quick song from a local restaurant owner who insisted on feeding us for free, we were back on the road. The stress was rising, and the hitchhiking wasn't getting any easier.
turn to try and get a lift. So he's just wandering about. I think he's a bit nervous.
Towards Bombay and see if we can get a lift with...
And you were a doctor?
Yeah, I'm a dentist.
A dentist? Okay, awesome. In England, a lot of dentists and doctors and such are Indian. My doctor is Indian.
Daughter.
My doctor? Not daughter. I don't have a daughter.
It's a nice temperature.
Thank you so much.
So, it's the end of day 7. We've made it out of Ajmer. We managed to travel something like 300 kilometers hitchhiking today. We hitchhiked on a tractor, we hitchhiked in a lorry, and we hitchhiked with a guy who's a dentist. I'm so tired, I can barely speak. I haven't slept much over the last 2 days. So we're gonna go get some food, and we're gonna go to bed. But feeling more confident about reaching Thiruvananthapuram. So we're about to leave Udaipur. We have 700 kilometers to Mumbai, and we're gonna try and get there hitchhiking, literally like just straight. It's like 14 hours of driving, so maybe not get a hotel, get there overnight. Okay, thank you very much. That was fun. I understand how to drive a rickshaw. So we found our new tactic. Turn up at petrol stations and ask people where they were going. If they were heading south, we'd ask if we could go with them. No one really seems to speak any English, which is making the hitchhiking very difficult. Awesome, thank you. This guy seemed to think that what we were doing was so stupid that we both must be drunk.
You drank wine today or yesterday?
Sorry?
You drank wine today or yesterday?
Drunk wine? We haven't been drinking.
No. Smell in your mouth.
Oh really? I haven't been drinking alcohol.
No. You are researching on the way and you are drunk full. Huh? Okay.
You driving? So we are currently walking along the side of the road. I'm not totally sure where we are on the map. Well, I know we are on the map, but I can't remember what it's called. And we were just walking here, trying to flag down some traffic to get a lift.
And we really needed to pick up the pace.
We've got a lift for 25 kilometers. Awesome, thank you. Hey. 584 miles to Mumbai.
Well, friends?
Yes.
Yeah, Nihal.
Nihal, good to meet you. I'm Rupert.
Yeah, David.
David,
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
We're making a documentary about travelling India.
Cool.
Nihal spoke such good English. Not only did he give us a lift, but he bought some sugarcane juice from a cart by the side of the road.
Wow, that looks amazing. Oh, that's so nice. Why haven't we had this before? We've seen so many carts of it and we haven't got it.
You can see it.
We got it, it's flying, man! Just thought.
The beauty of hitchhiking, mate. Look at that.
This is literally my dream.
Nihal took us to his place and showed us around.
You can see everywhere. You can see the surrounding full of sky.
It's amazing.
This is watermelon.
Gotta go fast. Gotta go fast. Gotta go fast.
I want to get a tractor now.
Well, this is an interesting hitchhiking experience, to hitchhike and then end up driving that car.
Oh, he honked it, man. Now it's looking like he's driving in India. It was a joint family business. Like my father, my uncle, and my other uncle. We all were together before. Now recently we have separated. In India, everywhere, in any offices, any places, we keep God like in one place.
We ended up staying overnight. Nahal and his friends were incredibly welcoming, and they prepared us some of the most incredible food I've ever tasted.
That is so delicious.
Oh man, it's probably the best meal we've had so far in India. That was absolutely incredible. I'm just so happy right now.
The next day, Nahal generously drove us over 2 hours to the next city, Ahmedabad, and walked around with us, asking people in Hindi if they were driving south and if they could take us along.
Have a good night. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for everything.
This guy was crazy, covered in gold.
The real diamond.
Wow.
Not artificial.
Yeah. Serious jewelry.
Late night, 2:30, I'm sleeping.
Well, thank you very much for the lift. Dhanyabad.
Mother, father.
Yeah.
Mummy, papa.
And I have two older sisters, so I'm the youngest.
All sister is married.
No, they're not married. No, not yet.
Pakistan is the bad country.
Do you think?
Very, very bad country. All people was bad. Also terrorist.
Do you think that maybe in Pakistan there are a few bad people and then some good people too?
Pakistan people is the very, very bad. Bad.
So we had some pretty controversial opinions, a little too xenophobic for our taste. But nonetheless, he drove us for almost 2 hours, finally leaving us by the side of the motorway in the early hours of the morning.
And now we're literally just trying to hitchhike to Mumbai.
We'd aimed on reaching Mumbai the day before and really needed to get there that night.
Pretty fucking tired. Let's go, Mumbai!
This guy was something else.
That's all right, your safety is very comfortable.
Thank you.
Which is your country?
England.
England, oh my guest. You are a fan guest.
Awesome, it's great to meet you. Thank you for having us.
Welcome, I am always, the reception of the Indian British man is very nice. And it is my very good luck. And it is a fortunate for my life.
Oh, thank you. Well,
yeah, that's all right. India and British, a very good friendship. The love is universal. I am your very good best friend.
Miss you too. Thank you very much.
You are my best friend. I miss you so much.
I miss you too.
Okay. I will call you. You will call me.
Absolutely.
Absolutely sure.
I fucking miss that guy now. We are maybe like 100 kilometers outside of Surat. It's now nearly 2 o'clock in the morning, 20 to 2 in the morning. We were driving in this lorry who were kind of taking us to Mumbai, and then they just like freaked out at the toll thing and wanted us to get out, and all of a sudden they're not going to Mumbai or whatever. But we made up some more distance. I got a little bit of sleep. David got hassled relentlessly by this guy.
Welcome, I am always The reception of the England British man is very nice.
Middle of nowhere, 2 o'clock in the morning. We're going to try and get a lift somewhere. We're both absolutely exhausted. No one's really kind of stopping or picking us up here.
We were almost halfway into our trip and we still had more than half the miles to travel. We thought we might have more luck travelling at night, with the idea people would be travelling much further. Something I didn't feel 100% safe doing, I have to say.
Just to feel alive again. Pushing forward through the night. Aching chest and blurry sight.
After about 30 minutes, we managed to find a lift in a lorry that would take us over 9 hours all the way to Mumbai.
It's so far away.
There you go.
Cold wind blows into the skin. Can't believe the state you're in. It's so far away. It's so far away.
We're now like 110 kilometers from Mumbai, which is like really not that far.
Very tired.
Get people.
Okay.
So I was quickly asked to get out of the truck, leaving David sat bewildered in the front with the drivers.
All around me are familiar faces.
We have to go through some checkpoint or something, and I think he wants me to like hide.
This is me, trying to look inconspicuous.
Okay, well we made it through the checkpoint, fine.
Police, fine, police.
I see.
4 person not allowed.
I see. Well, it was fun going in the back. It was fun. So when I was in the back, poor old David thought that they'd left me behind. Had a bit of a panic. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Saman okay?
Everything's good. Thank you.
Seashore Hotel. I still haven't slept yet. Yeah, we were obviously hitchhiking like through the night. Me and Rupert got loads of sleep, but I could not get any sleep, and I'm just destroyed now. I'm like disgusting, absolutely filthy, just from like walking around at night, and all the dust like sticks to you, and I'm just like so hot and sweaty now, like I'm just covered in like filth, and we're finally here. I literally just want to get in the shower, get clean, and go get some sugarcane juice and chill the fuck out.
In the morning, we had a very multicultural breakfast.
Trying to recover from our ridiculously long, like 24-hour journey. We're going to the beach first, and then just gonna hang out.
Not be stuck out in the middle of nowhere, trying to get a lift on the side of the road.
Hitchhiking on the side of the motorway.
तेरे दिल में हम आ गए, तेरे दिल में रहेंगे, तुझे अपना कहेंगे झूठा.
Things were looking increasingly hopeless, and being so behind schedule, we decided to use our final lifeline and get an overnight train to Goa.
झूठे नहीं हम.
David, you're in the fucking way, mate.
Okay, so दिल है ये मेरा. तेरा घर ये नहीं है.
It was a long journey, but after 10 hours and an impressively good night's sleep, we arrived in Goa. Goa was a lovely place, but to me it felt a little bit soulless and super touristy. People flock from all over India and all over the world to relax there, so we decided to do the same, relax and regain our strength.
Today is the day that we're leaving Goa, which I'm excited for because it's very touristy and I really want to get back on the road. The kind of pressure is like really back on now. We've got to travel like a really fucking long distance over the next 5 days.
So we're now travelling to Madgaon. I'm travelling on the bike and David's travelling in a tuk-tuk with a bag. So then we'll hitchhike from Madgaon south.
Before long we were back on the road, trying to catch a ride out of Goa. We now had over 800 miles to go and only 5 days till our flight left, with or without us. We spent hours trying to catch a lift, but almost no one stopped and those who did were only taking really short journeys. We walked for miles to try and find a better spot, but it was all just too rural. Eventually someone took pity on us and agreed to drop us at a local petrol station in the hope we'd have more chance of getting a lift from there. Even the petrol station was empty. The attendant spoke a small amount of English and offered to help us ask anyone who came by if they'd give us a lift. Sadly, the next people to come by weren't the greatest.
हिंदी जाने के लिए
No Hindi.
इंग्लिश बना रही इंग्लिश अरे पावर का पत्ती के लिए साय मारा पत्ती के लिए मैंने कहा पावर का उत्तम है
No firm? You want a picture?
तुम लेके जाओ रोज इसको लेके जाओ तुम लेके जाओ
मेरा नाम रजी.
It's a video camera. It's for video.
कैमरा काट
आपको क्या चाहिए? पुलिस को बुलाओ इधर. पुलिस कहाँ है? या पुलिस इधर. पुलिस कहाँ है? ड्राइवर किधर है? पुलिस
ड्राइवर हो
साथ में हम पुलिस
अरे फोटो काट रहे हो यार दिलीप.
पुलिस ने कैमरा पुलिस ने की
ये गाड़ी तो कर
माइला टोकन रेडी केले पुंदामने का पुंदा देवड़े पुंदामने टोकन रेडी केले
हिंदी में गाली मारो तुम्हारे बाजू में क्या गाली मारते हैं
हिंदी
यार दिलीप हिंदी बोल
ना और अंदर मारे
हिंदी अरे हमका लेट करता थे मैं यार
तुम्हारा हुआ क्या इधर
हिंदी में बोल
तुम्हारा हुआ क्या इधर
हिंदी में बोल
क्या बोला
जिंदा आलू हमने देखी है
जा रे बाबा जा
നമ്മൾ ജീവിക്കാൻ മോട്ടോട് ജീവിക്കുന്നത് ഇത് ആര് ഇത് എന്തോന്ന്
आराम से
They'd offered us a lift, but things went sour when the attendants realised that they were both drunk.
That was a weird experience.
Just when we were ready to give up, a coach full of tourists came by. They offered us a lift south, sitting in the cab with the drivers.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Thank you.
That's pretty crazy, really. We went from being stuck in the middle of like Goa with like absolutely no idea what we were going to do to managing to get on a coach. They didn't ask us for any money. We thought they were going to ask us for money at the end, but they didn't. That drove us 8 hours through the night. Doesn't matter how like hopeless you feel, you can always kind of turn around.
These guys made room for us, even though their car was already packed. This happened a lot. People always seem more than willing to cram us in, even if it meant sharing seats in a car with broken AC and the boiling heat. An attitude that I'll always admire.
Kerala, our last day. But first,
Can you take a selfie for me? Dress it up real sexy for me. Let me know that you're ready for me. Yeah, selfie for me.
So long. Over the next 36 hours, we put our heads down, taking almost 20 different lifts. With limited time left, we made up some much needed distance.
we've travelled in tractors, lorries.
Through the jungle, through the dark. Girl, I never loved one like you.
In the streets you run a free like it's only you and me. Cheers, your sun and the sea.
There's a film there.
Home is wherever I'm with you. Oh, let me come home. Home is wherever I'm with you.
We thought if we walked along the beach we would be on the road, but we're still struggling to actually find the road at the moment. Yeah. Kind of out in the middle of nowhere, there's like this tiny little village behind us. You want us to play? Okay. Yeah? We'll play.
Come on.
Sadly, neither me or David represented England's football schools overly well, but it was nice to relax and feel part of a small rural community, away from the hectic roads of India.
You looking forward to hitchhiking off literally the dirt road?
Yep.
This is amazing.
You're getting the lift.
Is it my guy? No, it's your guy.
No, it's your go.
I got the last guys.
No, but you said before football, I was like, yeah, you're getting us a lift, and you were like, okay.
I was just ignoring you, so you're being moody.
Well, I said, but you're getting the lift, and you said, okay.
Why are you in a bad mood?
I'm not in a bad mood. I'm in a fine mood, I just said earlier. But I was like, oh, if we play football, you can get the lift, and you were like, oh.
I was just ignoring you. So we've just tried our last lift and I'm just checking out this English club here. Look at these Western people. That is exactly how we dress. It's just like me.
So we are just going to grab some food and then we're going to have to hitchhike through the night because we have 2 days to reach Trivandrum.
Thank you. We really struggled to get a lift out of this petrol station, but we've now got a lift to the National Highway where we should be able to get loads of long distance lifts. We've been stuck in this town and we've managed to do it and get a lift in the back of a pickup truck, which is so awesome.
Really gutted that we're not in this for like the rest of the night. It'll be so much fun.
After another ride in the back of a truck, a tuk-tuk driver gave us a free lift on his way home. Such a lovely guy.
See you later.
We then spent almost 2 hours trying to catch a lift, slowly gathering a crowd of people who started to help us.
We have a lift.
Where to?
180 kilometres to Kozhikode.
Driving in India is insane. It doesn't matter if you're driving a car or an oil tanker. Everyone drives like they're riding a moped.
The driver's just stopped at this like booth where he has to give us this paperwork in because for the oil or something he's carrying. But he's not allowed to carry passengers. So he's told us to stay in here and be very quiet. Afterwards, I transferred some footage onto my laptop on the side of the road. Definitely a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
We have a lift to Kochi. It's a way away.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye. Wow, that was pretty crazy. We just spent like 5 hours traveling in the front of a shipping, like a lorry that's taking coffee, transporting coffee. And we're now just by the side of the road, middle of nowhere.
We were then given another free tuk-tuk ride into the city, where we were crammed in with a whole family. You wouldn't think looking at these small 3-wheeled vehicles that you could fit 7 people in them. Then we grabbed some breakfast, which between me and David cost about 30p.
Nothing like freshly cooked toasters in the morning.
We decided to catch a boat into Kochi. It was nice to experience a different mode of transport.
Look at that bloke. I'd vote for him.
One night?
What are we trying to do today?
Hitchhiked to Thiruvananthapuram.
How are you feeling?
Happy, content, but sad that we're leaving.
Have you got any advice for anyone that wants to do something similar to what we've done?
Don't pack a ridiculously stupid amount of stuff that I did.
Do a little twirl for the camera. Let's go. God, you take ages to get ready.
Fuck's sake.
So we began our day with a quick coconut, a boat back to the mainland, and then a tuk-tuk to a petrol station.
So, we started at one petrol station, we got one lift, then we started at one petrol station, then we gave up and got some food, then we tried another petrol station, and we've got a rickshaw 7 kilometres out of the town to this petrol station where we're going to try again to get a lift. The only thing that's worrying us a little bit is that there's a thunderstorm that's kind of breaking or happening somewhere. We still haven't gotten a lift, so that's a bit nerve-wracking.
Once the weather had calmed down, a group of people at the petrol station helped us flag down lifts. After what had taken us around 5 hours, we managed to get a lift almost halfway to Trivandrum.
Thank you very much for the lift. We're only 40 kilometres or so now away from Trivandrum.
Thank you very much.
2:30 in the morning. I feel sad that the trip's over. It was really fun. It was one of the best ways, I think, to interact with people on like a person-to-person level. Yeah, some of the people we met I will remember for a very long time.
I'd say our circumstances like definitely helped us. I think the fact that, you know, we're making this film, it got people quite excited to, like, you know, to interact with us and maybe like talk to us and get to know us a bit better by giving us lifts. I can't wait to come back to India. Let's go find a cheap non-AC hotel somewhere.
You're gonna need a bigger chainsaw to cut me down. You're gonna need another hole.
As soon as you start immersing yourself with the people and start interacting with them, it's just absolutely incredible. It's been like no other place I've been to, and it feels so like strange to finish because you become so acclimatized to it and you become so used to it that it becomes like it does become your life. It's interesting how much you can become immersed in it and start to really understand India and learn about the people and like the way they think and the way you interact with people, and it's weird to think that that's over.
India is chaotic, confusing, polarizing, overwhelming, and exactly what I needed. I couldn't imagine this chaos being the norm, but of course for people in India it is. Just look at the roads. There are people driving into oncoming traffic, random cows, smashed up cars, buses with people packed on top, but no one loses their cool. Seeing people so unfazed and having faith that things will work out was what allowed me to let go. India was exhausting, but the most alive I've ever felt.
Amazing, but then it's so bad at the same time. It's like everything at once. I think that's probably, I mean, the way that I can best describe it. It's just like everything at once, India, but in like the best way.